Happy Thanksgiving! Little peek-ski.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is a holiday week.
And we want to thank everyone for their, ideally, a happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy National Indigenous Peoples Day. Whatever. It's whatever. I think that one was not Columbus Day, though. But we can do both. Eat corn. Eat your hideous starches and all the carbs. Berate your family from a safe distance, or not at all. Over the phone is a viable option. That's why Dave is on the phone right now.
That's why I've been on the phone for all of these so far.
Sorry, Dalton. Shout out to Dalton Cole for his bitching about the... Dave sounds like he's in a tin can, but he's not unintelligible. He just sounds far away. Because he is.
That's what I always sound like.
Only on the inside.
It's not the phone that does that, that's me.
It's the One Stop Geek Shop Podcast Thanksgiving Special 2020 edition. It's the first, probably the last, who knows? I don't know. And today we're doing the top 5 toy lines that we are thankful for. Dave chose it. And we're rolling with it. And it seems good enough, right? It works. I'm here for it.
It's holiday themed.
Yeah. We'll do the thankful one, because from here on out, it's a messy shit show of, like, scars and trauma and things we like and things we didn't like and things that happened that were bad. And some good things.
Oh, Black Friday.
It's coming. It's coming down quick. I am Billy. You can find me at the _swan_man on Twitter. Hello.
I'm David. You can find me at Ricochet_19 on Twitter.
You can find this podcast's main feed somewhere at 0NE-4. No, I fucked up.
No, I don't even know what
at 0NE-0P.
One Stop Geek Shop. Replace the O's with zeros.
That's a lot of fucking work, I just gotta say.
Oh, yeah, what you were doing was so helpful.
No! That's comedy.
Give them a cipher. Give them a correct one. Good God.
Are they even listening? I've been hustling. We've been sharing, liking, subscribing, but we're only two dudes. You can do your part by liking, sharing, and subscribing. We got a YouTube channel that's actually spelled the right way, has content fairly regularly. More to come when the conditions brighten, but we still got content. All my unboxings, Dave's unboxings, TBD. Kids seem to like it. There's not as many fucking curse words on that one, because I don't want to get dropped by YouTube necessarily. I just don't click that it's, like, meant for kids, because that's an option. And as a parent, I've seen those videos made in Croatia where it's, like, sing-along time in weird broken English and shit. With, like, little snowflake falling on my nose, falling down my...
Starting to worry me the direction this is going.
It's wild out there, because then it also has, like, knock off the Hulk, or knock off, any Mickey Mouse, any character, but they're doing some questionable shit to Elsa, but they're toys, so it gets to go under the line, and that's why we have moderators? So we're not going for that audience. Not even a chance, because I was like, I'm not going to say it's meant for kids and have some parent be outraged that, I don't know, I had a big knife. Whatever. I was too harsh on Io Shirai.
After you open up your thumb, yeah.
It was my middle finger, and it adds character, thank you. You're right. Well, how have you been doing since last we spoke to the grand old people? You already got Dalton Cole busting your nuts. Wild Spunk Cowboy on Twitter, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, not too much has changed.
Well, how can that be?
I don't know what to tell you. This entire year has been kind of a day in, day out purgatory for me.
Purgatory's like the middle ground.
People around me what day of the week it is.
It's written on your little calendar. Ask the Mickey Mouse Watch. We're not going to get flagged for saying Mickey Mouse, are we? Oh no. What happened?
How many times we say it?
I don't like that. It's been strong and steady. I got broken into my car with Christmas gifts, as I am Johnny on the spot with that, and someone, like, jimmied the trunk or unlocked the doors, little bit of both, because it looks like they drug some stuff from the trunk to the back seat. Because I was like, that's odd. My car had been recently cleaned, and there was items in the back seat. I'm like, I didn't put that there. But it's such a thing. I was like, huh, that's odd. But where were you?
Back seats lower into the trunk?
They do.
You can lower them down to get into the trunk?
They do, but there's a baby seat, but also that's just one half of it, so... Yeah, they do.
That is the second time your car has been broken into since I've met you.
Well, hold on. Once was the smart car where the window was busted, blown out, and they took my gym bag with all my dirty clothes, and they kind of took...
D&D stuff.
They took my D&D bag and left it because it was too heavy and too full of books. But you could have flipped the D&D stuff for a lot more than my dirty gym stuff, so whatever.
That's the irony right there. They're looking for computers, and turns out they've got something more valuable.
Funny. Well, ideally it helped someone or not. I don't know. It's all just stuff. I've had worse. I was able to hunt. No spoilers. I was able to hunt for most of what was pilfered, and aside from taking a bath on the cost of the first go-around, it was all mostly, salvaged. And then I got on, an angry, vengeful, tear with the Christmasing, so that's how I do. It's like...
I gotta
shopping.
say, you're taking it better than I would have.
I mean... Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's like... At least the windshield was intact. That's how I didn't notice for so long, because I'm just going about my day in, day out at my job, being all essential or whatever. And so you kind of just get stuck as long as nothing's... But they didn't take the beer that was back there. I had forgotten about the 12-pack of beer I got for the weekend because I had the kid. And so a few days later, it's like, oh yeah, I have a 12-pack in there. Neat. Bonusy. Matter of fact, I got one of those soldiers right here. Ah, that's good brewski. But anyway, I guess we'll just get into the hunt. What have you hunted for, David?
Well, I haven't had any actual success hunting. And it's getting worse out there because we are in the holiday season. So now not only are we dealing with regular competition,
scalpers,
toy collectors, fucking scalpers, which I think we all share a similar opinion on. But now we have mom and dad and grandparents shopping for kids and grandkids. So
Billy,
finding anything is almost impossible. These stores look worse now.
But
you
online,
I found something for you.
Woo! Hell yeah!
Today, I found your wrestlers.
They're not technically wrestlers, but we'll start with that. A little synergy, if you will. The WWE Eternia, I like to call them, but the Masters of the WWE Universe, as others call them, the He-Man mashup of WWE, Wave 4. Is it 4 already? Mother of God. Consisting of... Is that 4? Holy shit, am I wrong? Who's right? Ah! It's the one with Seth Rollins in bland man getup, much like his true self. You have Mr. T as Fisto, but also as Mr. T. Very cool. Although he has the same head sculpt as, I would say, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, real-life Mr. T, and the other one. So the real scan on Mr. T is a bit caricature-ish. It's not... I wouldn't say it's photo-accurate. He's making a face. He doesn't look exactly real. It's heavy on the sculpt, is what I would say. But, I mean, it's Mr. T. He pities the fool. He pitied the fool in the WWE ring. He loves his mama. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Jake the Snake Roberts as Snakeman? I forget who he's... Or is he just a mashup?
Those colors look... Either he's King Hiss, or he's... Actually, his face comes off, doesn't it?
Yes.
He's King Hiss.
That rules. That kicks so much ass. That's probably... If the Fiend wasn't just so very fiendy... I think the Jake is probably the... As far as mashups go, I'll say the Jake's the better of the set. But the Fiend kicks ass. But the Jake has the battle armor chest, the giant cobra, or no, just the python. And he has the removable face, revealing his true identity as a snake in the grass. What a heel. Love him. Love Jake. And then, of course, the Fiend, whose mouth opens. So he can... And his weapons... I
noticed that when I grabbed it.
Yeah, his mandibles are articulated. Or his lower jaw comes down to reveal his big pink tongue. Other than that, though, he's kind of just the Fiend. You can swap out his hands for his puppets, air quotes, to install the weapons, his axe and his mace. So, they're technically his puppets, so his puppets are his weapon. And that's pretty great. It's been really cool. This year, 2020 has been so strong for the Fiend. Like, we wanted the figs, and they have not delivered. Like, they're 100% across the board, in my opinion. Even the basic with the coat coming out next year the coat sells it, but man, the Fiend's getting all the love that he needs, so yay Bray Wyatt Part 2. We're doing our best.
Well, I got 2 of the Marvel Legends I was looking for, so there's that.
Who are they? What do they do?
It's the... What is this wave called? It's the Joe Fixit wave. So it's the latest Avengers with the Gamerverse stuff.
Oh, Fat Dad Captain America, yeah, that bullshit.
That's the one I got, actually, Stealth Captain America. Primarily because, I mean, it's just a black-suited, like, combat outfit Captain America.
Too many
customized into just about anything.
Hot dogs.
Turning him into a U.S. agent would take almost no effort whatsoever. The shield accessory is really cool. If you're into customizing and you're going to make custom Captain Americas, that is a really good shield. Got him, and I was at Toy HQ earlier today.
A.K.A. Toy Vomit.
Toy Vomit, yes. And scored Joe Costa from that wave.
I had her on the old Marvel Multiverse iPhone game. But I had them all, so, yeah. But that game ruled. Just tedious. So much grinding.
2 figures I wanted from that wave.
But Joe Fixit. He'll never be complete if you don't, So wait, did you score her Lucy for the savings on the Build-A-Figure part?
Kind of. When they have complete figures and I don't need the Build-A-Figure part, I will I will get the figure and give them the Build-A-Figure part and they give me a discount.
That's not too shabby. And that's why we call Toy Headquarters the #1 independent toy shop in America? The world.
I would say America. I mean, the world is a very, very big boast.
In the country. I just say,
I
hey.
don't know what Malaysia's like.
In this reality, the #1 independent toy shop. Period.
Within this dimension.
Yeah. Pert. Buy toys, watch wrestling. That's a motto I live my life by, and I have those stickers, and if you would like one of those stickers, you gotta slide into those DMs. Since we are from Lexington, Kentucky, we can slide you a little slice of Toy HQ if you would like. You just have to, say hi. Interaction. We're making it about a community and a movement, and one more voice amongst so many voices, but I'm offering a sticker. So there it is.
Wait, is that one of the stickers you already have? Like in your possession right now?
Yeah, it's here right now, ready to get mailed. We get if we get too many responses, I can start mailing some crazy shit, but
that would be cool.
Have to know that there's demand. Toy HQ, it's the next best thing. To what? I don't know. It sounds catchy. I also hunted, thanks to Ringside Collectibles, no promo given. Watch my butt promo, watch my unboxings on YouTube of Elite 78, Kofi Kingston, Elite 79's Xavier Woods and Big E, Elite 79's Bobby Fish, Elite 80's Kyle O'Reilly, and Top Picks 2021, Roman Reigns. Got all them bad boys. Big sale day, big PayPal pay in 4. Pulled the trigger because Thanksgiving sale was going on before the Black Friday sale. So, sometimes you gotta, so you don't fall behind, because I really like, especially as we come into the dearth period where everything's gone and no shipments are happening because all the shipments already happened, because Jeremy Padower cited that this is the time where all toy manufacturers just push it out. All of it. Everything they got. So we're going to be in the, narrows till about March-ish. So I like to get caught up so that I'm not, stringing along, trying to hunt on pegs that will show no purchase.
This really is the time of year where making pre-orders online is a safer bet than hunting this stuff in the wild. Stores are going to be bought out constantly. They're going to be putting as much back on pegs as they can manage, which usually isn't much, and they'll just give up, and we're gonna see entire waves skipped over.
I mean, it happens guaranteed, especially at least with my familiarity. I can cite that WWE Elites, specifically, as I just mentioned, there's 79 and 80 and 78. Our neck of the woods might see, if they see 78, they're not seeing 79. Hell, they might not see 80. Or they might not get anything until 80, because I've heard a lot about, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or Stunning Steve Austin from that line, is starting to hit pegs when nobody has seen the aforementioned wave. Did not happen. So, very cool. I also got a turkey, and I came to the realization that even we're in such a time to be alive, that no turkey is reasonably sized, considering it's going to be a modest Thanksgiving, just time cop in the turkey, per tradition. And damned if, like, every turkey I picked up was at least 20 pounds. Even the cheap-ass, like, Jenny O, I'm a ball of salt, like, nonsense turkey. That was, like...
You listen to the news, alright?
Half price.
This is your family's last Thanksgiving together. There will be no more.
I mean...
You have to get everyone together and breathe in each other's faces.
Well, typical of my family, we don't do shit the way that everyone else does anyway, so fuck them. So we're just, like... doing whatever to survive. My mother's in the healthcare industry, so she didn't give a damn. We're just gonna, like, throw some turkey slices and shove some pie into an envelope, mail it out with, like, 6 postage stamps, and call it good. Zoom meetings! It's the most annoying thing. So speaking of a dearth of product, what's next? Where we look into the items that are on pre-order? Or are just coming down the pipeline, and there was a major G.I. Joe Pulse event that I mocked furiously last episode. Do we have any news from them?
I think Mando Monday happened, but to be perfectly honest...
Mando!
Okay, I love Mandalorians.
Mando!
I think it's pretty common knowledge at this point. If it's not, it really should be. And... ever since Mando Mondays was announced
Mando
by Hasbro Pulse, I have slept through every single one of them and not regretted it. They have yet to actually show me anything I want to pre-order.
But Cab Calloway, the Hector Salamanca,
You were just making up names.
That's the wrong guy. Cab Calloway Gus Fring with sword. That's coming out like in February.
He's not Mandalorian.
Well, no. He's the
He's
baddie.
from the show. This is absolutely true. But, yeah, not Mandalorian. Don't care.
He the baddie.
Good figure.
Who are they going to
Nice.
shoot? Who are they going to shoot if not Cab Calloway?
I mean, this is a fair question. They mostly shoot at each other. No, they stand on my shelf all regal and armored and dour.
Are you going to need a Sasha Banks head one day if they don't just sculpt it without the helmet on?
Considering they made such a big... That's interesting you said that. Considering the big deal in that episode
He died.
of the 3 of them taking off their helmets, it would be weird for them not to actually have unhelmeted heads.
Get that helmet off. Well, you know the custom's a possibility because she has many, many, many decent-ish figures that are basically in scale, so sure.
That'd be a difficult custom with the braids crisscrossing her forehead.
Paint app, silly. But I have seen a revival of the carbonized look, which I do not understand because it's too shiny for Billy.
Same. I mean, they've got the shiny metallic on the clothing. Like, on the armor, if you're going to make the armor shiny metallic, sure. Okay, that would look neat. But when his pants are the same metallized look as everything else,
Bierski.
it just looks gross.
Ew. I mean, so I saw someone posted the Din Djarin with removable helmet and the child. So that's the one that I'm probably going to look for if it's more of like a passive, like if I find it on the pegs, I'm like, I'll give it a day in court. I'll probably grab that one. But someone said that they were...
The one with the baby and the pram.
Yeah.
That'll be about $30, and the odds of you actually seeing it at Target are pretty low.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that the guy that posted it also said that it was street dated for the 1st of December, and he could not check out with it.
Yeah, I guarantee that they'll be sold out before that point.
Well, they're going to get a lot more of it than, say, G.I. Joe, because no one knows what that IP is, whereas Star Wars, everybody knows that IP, but also scalpers! Star Wars scalpers, I'm going to have a guy in my neck fucking asking me $100 for Din Djarin and the Pram. I'm like, no, man, because you're going to make 3 more! If Wave 1 taught me anything, it's that all those figures are going to get re-released ad nauseum. It'll be fine. I'm not worried. That's the one that I would get, because it sums up the story pretty well. Until we get a Timothy Oliphant, but that's... Oliphants. Not since Live Free or Die Hard have I...
I still think it was a missed opportunity when they made the in-scale version of the child, that tiny little $10 box.
Yep.
Right? It was Target exclusive. Or it wasn't Target exclusive, because I've seen all of this. And nevertheless, they had a missed opportunity, because he comes with a bunch of accessories he can neither hold nor really interact with, because he has such limited articulation. And not packaging an alternate hand for Din so that he can properly and realistically hold the child in one arm was a missed opportunity.
They'll probably fix it somewhere down the line. It'll be on forever.
It'll be an entirely new figure, yeah.
Yay! McFarlane... I keep talking about McFarlane DC, don't know why, but I saw the McFarlane Darkfather, I think that's it, wave where they're all, like, dark-sided out and shit. Superman with one gray arm. Batman being a meta, like, dark-sidey gray dude. All dark-sided up. Wonder Woman being emo, and one more that is not important enough for me to remember. I think it's just Doomsday again. But those figures they just pump those fuckers out.
I saw it looked like another one of the Robins from
yeah.
Who Laughs.
That's it.
Only he's wearing like a feather crown or something. I don't know.
They just pump that shit out though. It's amazing. I've never seen such output. It's easy to be detailed when you're like way out of scale, I guess.
I really think that we need to contact Todd McFarlane, like in person, and sit him down though, and let him know.
Get it fast or get out of the way.
There are more than 3 other characters in the DC universe.
I don't have any proof
His
of that.
head will explode.
He'd be like, nah, man, the future's now, bitch. Be like, oh, man, too radical.
Maybe show him a comic book or 2.
Just acid washes my jeans for me. What happened? What's happening? Jeremy Padower on Instagram revealed that Wave 4 of AEW is in production, and the first proto-image of that is the infamous Sammy Guevara, Le Sex God, complete with douchey hair and tongue naggling out of mouth. And it looks great. That's it. It's the one of the Wave 4 reveals that we've had, but it's exciting just to get new characters revealed, Mattel, and not new takes on old characters, which aren't exactly new because we have photo evidence of them being them, and never mind. It's a whole thing. It's fine. I love AEW and will love AEW as long as they have something good to offer, which is, but it's always exciting when someone's getting started and you're catching up. You're getting one of each guy. As opposed to Mattel, where they're making a lot of just, like, people you've seen. People who don't deserve a figure. Figures you want, sometimes they don't make. But that okay. You have a hot toy take today?
I've stated it before. It's
so hot.
To the McFarlane thing. I've stated it before on these, and I will state it again, in that he proved me both right and wrong. I said that they were only going to make a Batman and Superman and then do various recolors of those 2 figures for a year and a half. Yeah, here we are.
Hell yeah.
I think there's been like one green... No, has there been a Green Lantern? Have they even done a Green Lantern? They've done like 2 Flashes, maybe.
Why would they do a Green Lantern?
Everyone else.
Nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows who Green Lantern is.
Flash is.
Well, sure. I don't know this Green Lantern guy you're talking about. I have a Walmart Hot Toy Take Part 2? An addendum?
Remember, Hot Toy Take is it is a contested toy take. It is your opinion may be inflammatory to others. If this is just you ragging on Walmart, that's not Hot Toy Take. That's everyone just nodding to you.
Yeah, nod with me.
Seriously though, Walmart, please, fire away. I want to hear it.
So here's what I did. I pre-ordered in August as a birthday gift to myself, because I know what I like. The Rattlesnake Mountain WWE Eternia Masters of the WWE Universe set, which consisted of a Crazy Ring, Madness, and a Stone Cold Steve Austin, He-Man guy, and a Hulk Hogan He-Man guy. Perfect. It'll arrive sometime fourth quarter, like now. Fine, whatever. Pre-ordered. Waited till, like, the Iggy came 2 days ago? 2 days ago. Where it's like, forget your canceled, like, pre-orders, because people were either getting canceled or delayed. Mine was delayed. And there's been a lot of that on this pod about it being delayed, specifically this. And as I checked it, someone said, no, they're live. Just cancel your pre-order and just order it the same. And luckily, it was in stock. So I ordered it and canceled my pre-order set in August and ordered it, like, 2 days ago. So, like, November 22nd. And it is well on its way for, like, Friday. It's already been shipped. Why I have to do? What? That's like flagrant not knowing what the fuck you're doing with your, like, shipping and transit and whatnot. Now, it's cool that I've got it at the same price they've been docking me for so many months, but now I have to do the same thing with the Decade of Domination Undertaker. Or not? I don't know. I haven't found them on the pegs. They don't exist here. I don't know what that drop date is, unless they're holding back until, as we are the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, tomorrow night, as Ringside will be doing their beloved Black Friday sale starting at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, Wednesday the 25th. Crazy. But just, why is this happening? Is the concept of, like, place order and do a thing too complex? How is that easier to have that many, like, order numbers in your system? Because there is a system. I've seen it. It's like, I'm taking all the legwork out of it for them, and yet still they ruin the day. Boo.
It actually reminds me of my time at Walmart way back in 2000.
20 years ago?
20 years ago. 20 years ago, my Walmart, on Black Friday of all things.
Ooh,
since we're gonna have
timely.
some Black Friday stories. On Black Friday of all things, decided this would be the year that we reinstitute layaway.
Yeah.
They did not actually come up with a plan on how they were going to reinstate layaway. And they did not expect the number of people Black Friday shopping who would be using layaway.
Oh.
In 2 hours, they just gave up. Okay, the idea is that you get, like, basically a number that says this is what you have back here and held in this area. Much in the same way that they do with the stock in the back, right? It has, in the system, it has a location. You can find it that way. They stopped doing that 2 hours in. It's like, no, just put it somewhere. Just drop it. It was complete and utter chaos. The managers didn't know what to do with their employees. They didn't know what to do with a crowd. Massive crowd that was getting angrier by the minute. And the mess that ended up in the back rooms continued to bite them in the ass for 8 months after that. Because no one knew what belonged to anyone. So like I said, it feels a lot like that.
What is it? But the point of the Black Friday deal is that you don't have to put it on layaway because it is such a bargain.
Well, yeah, but like I said, they clearly didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Well, shit.
Which is probably how they got promoted to corporate, and they are running the current pre-order system now.
Oh my god, that explains so much! The warehouse is right there! Oh, they should order some AEW. I'm gonna email him. What's his name?
Target, man. Failing upwards.
Keith. I've heard about a lot of that lately, and it weirds me out. But enough about that. I suppose it is time for the top 5 toy lines that we are thankful for. Right? Toy lines we are thankful for. So, now that you have a full-throated, deep, penetrative list, why don't you hit me with a 5?
Alrighty. Well, okay, yeah, my number 5. I'm going to go with the Mega Bloks Halo from 2009.
Mother of God.
Mega Bloks got the Halo license back in 2009, and they started making figure sets for it, and making the little minifigures. And that is the very start of the Mega Bloks license actually showing just what they can do with these tiny little minifigures. It would spawn off of that from Mega Bloks, or from Halo, to Call of Duty, to Assassin's Creed, to the Destiny fitness stuff, which I absolutely loved. And I would still hunt some of that stuff down if they weren't $40 for a single figure, but
$40 for a Destiny.
They're some of the best minifigures. Mega Bloks makes some of the best minifigures in existence, and it's all thanks to them getting that Halo license.
I think we're going to have some common ground when we considered thankful things, which is good.
Yeah, probably.
Number 5 on my top 5 does indeed parrot some of that. It tags the aspect, as I do the much maligned, yet thoroughly enjoyable by all, Funko Pops.
Nice.
Funko Pops. I'm literally looking at a stack behind me. They accumulate like triples. So Funko Pop proved in the first major way that if you produce IP, people will buy it, no matter how obscure it was, because they picked up not just like family-friendly licenses or, specified genre licenses. They just grabbed literally anything they could, anything at all, and produced it in such a user-friendly way where MSRP started back in the day / kinda now $7.99, $10 at the most.
I think, yeah.
And then the collector's market grabbed a hold of it as well, and they started making variants and whatnot, and you got to see that interest accrued. And now things get canceled out as new stock comes in. And they produce more and more fresh IP, things that nobody had figures of. And that kind of made collecting a little more mainstream, a little more tolerable, because it's a Funko Pop. It is $10. You pick it up at Target, and it does a thing that pops your office and represents you in some form or fashion. It introduced the idea of collecting action figures to a base that hadn't existed yet.
I think pop is probably the best term Funko could have come up for these things, because they're like the popcorn of the collectible universe.
100%. And it, is no doubt certainly the gateway drug to the stronger shit, the NECA, the Kotobukiya, the sideshow, the, what are the 1/6 photoreal dolls? Yeah. And to others, it's just like a fun tchotchke. But it showed that even the smallest intellectual property had value and demand. And that's very good for us, the people that collect action figures on the reg, because it has legitimacy. People buy it. Let's make more of it. I don't think we would have gotten Conan Super 7 if Conan hadn't have done what it did with Funko Pop, with Reaction. So, it be there. I thankful. What's your 4, Dave?
Number 4. I'm going to have to go with Transformers Alternators back in 2003.
Cars.
Transformers. Hasbro got a bunch of different real-world car companies on board, like they had difficulty, with Volkswagen. Volkswagen wouldn't budge.
The Germans!
But they had gotten so many others on board to make licensed versions of their cartoon characters. So the transformation process still has the robot looking, for the most part, like their original animation. It's very, 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 very clear. And the alternators are basically the precursor to the Masterpiece line that we've gotten. So, without the popularity of alternators, without the alternators line showing that you can make licensed cars, and showing that these car licenses, that this stuff is profitable, that they can do this, they can work together, we wouldn't have a lot of the Transformers we have today.
Well, there it is. Subaru my ass. Number 4 for me. In the late 90s, I want to say 1998, it was announced, and the great Todd McFarlane was on top of the world. And through this, he decided to branch out from beyond his edgelord king status with Spawn and delve a little deeper, and that's where we got Movie Maniacs. Might have been 97.
Yes.
Movie Maniacs kind of articulated Todd McFarlane like super sticky, mostly collector figures, but at that time this market didn't exist. But he went deep into the pond early on, and we got your Freddy Krueger, your Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Scream. I remember my first one from like Wave 2 was Syl from Species 2. And there's a figure, and it was usually packaged with a movie poster, like a literal paper poster, with a frame that could stand on its own, and it was Syl was kind of super articulated, but others were less so. And
it was McFarlane for the time, which were basically just pointlessly articulated statues.
Yeah. But, also at that time, it's the best sculpting you can find.
Uh-huh.
And then that led to the very first, Ash figure, if I'm not mistaken. And that thing, forget it. That was the hot, Black Friday item for me back in the year 2000. When Ash was revealed, what are you going to do with that? Truly the king. And without that line, we wouldn't have the, far more enhanced and sexy versions of NECA Ultimate Editions. We wouldn't have that.
There's a reason for that. A lot of the sculptors that worked with McFarlane at the time, if I remember correctly, went on to found these other companies.
Well, sure.
Four Horsemen, NECA, Mezco, I think they all worked together at one point.
Yes. That's excellent. And for, middle school kid, that's just where it's at. Get some spooky shit. Add a premium, because those were $15, and that was high back then, but whatever.
I still have my Crow figure. I mean, I would, it's me, but still.
Even though there's probably far better Crow figures these days. It's fine, he's fine. Who gets married on a full moon, or whatever the hell the thing was? Your number 3. Halloween, Dave's 3.
Number 3. I feel like I'm probably going to be stealing one of yours pretty soon.
Doubtful. Maybe not.
We'll see. Number 3 is the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary in 2007.
Oh. Yo, Joe.
G.I. Joe had, there were a couple waves before that point where they were just now seeing a resurgence. But the anniversary line actually introduced and, as far as I'm concerned, revolutionized the 3 3/4 articulation in action figures.
Are those 25 or 35?
Do what?
Are those 25 or 35?
Points of articulation?
I guess it is 25. I don't know what 35 was. I might be thinking wrong fandom.
Are you talking about the anniversary?
Yeah.
You killed my flow here. Yeah, no, it was 25th anniversary. I looked it up. I did research.
Oh, okay.
I did my homework this time. Yeah, from that one wave, from that start, the 25th anniversary, we have seen some of the best G.I. Joe figures ever get made. Sadly, the line would once again peter out after the second G.I. Joe movie happened to all of us.
But
yeah, but still, the line still has popularity. You can still, I mean, for those of us that will or have the opportunity, go to Toy HQ, go see Toy Vomit. He has a bunch of those figures on pegs, and it does the heart good to see them.
Hell, he has some of the exclusive, like, 5-packs.
Yeah.
Still, and I'm, like, tempted by the Marauders one. Like, I don't know, man.
Same. The Dreadnought one, personally.
Well, which one do you want? Like, maybe we just split it. I don't need all of them.
No, but for the single figures, the single cardboard-backed, blister-packed figures sitting on pegs, it's so awesome to see them, because everything about those figures was good. The sculpt was good, the accessories, the packaging design. And it all started with the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary.
Well, son of a bitch. My number 3... Is that right? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. My number 3 is a little John Machida action. A little Micro Machines. A little Star Wars Micro Machines.
Yes.
Where would I be without Star Wars Micro Machines? I knew Star Wars Micro Machines back in, like, 94 before I knew Star Wars. I knew of Star Wars. And around 94, Christmas time 94, they start releasing the little, like, planets. They had Endor, Hoth, and the Death Star. With their little non-moving figures. And I was like, I know I should like Star Wars. These figures sets look rad. I'll try and get them for Christmas. And I got them, like, way early, because Collector Boy, I just, like, whatever. And they were cheap, and they weren't moving off the shelves. I was like, I gotta see what this Star Wars shit's about. And all I had was the figs, and then the next year, in, like, the next year, they released the THX editions, and I actually formally discover Star Wars on a binge to justify the toy line, but also it fucks it all up. And through that, Micro Machines Star Wars introduced the whole universe with little plastic versions of every scene, every diorama you could imagine of the original trilogy was there. And in that, every character was there. Every vehicle was in my hands, epic space battles and whatnot, right there. And that, changes a person. So I'm super thankful for Star Wars Micro Machines for existing. They kind of petered out for me after the, Micro Fleet, where they raised the scale so they had articulation, and guys could fit in the cockpits and shit. But with that change in articulation, it kind of nullified the vastness of the previous collection. So it's like, well, they're not exactly similar now. So, poo. But for a little, not as detailed figures, I'll never have a better memory of being, Christmas Vacation guy and staying up too many hours alone at home, putting all the decals on the Star Wars Millennium Falcon Micro Machine playset. That thing ruled? It ruled. It's like I had the thing in my hand. You know how many adventures I just played out with just, ordinary life on that ship? Too many? Excellent. Great times. Good stuff. Yeah, and it could be said without it, whatever, the future wouldn't be the thing. Whatever. Those toys rule. They're all in my basement. Dave, number 2.
Number 2. I'm going to go with another Transformers one. Transformers Classics 2007. We talked about these on the last podcast.
Great stuff.
In that was kind of the irony with the massive number of Bumblebees we were getting at our store. The irony being is that was a good figure.
None of them
that Bumblebee bad. Is still one of the best Bumblebee figures to be produced in modern times.
Well, they have enough of them.
Yeah, true enough. But Transformers Classics is responsible for revitalizing the interest in the original, the G1 characters, because for the longest time before that point we've had Beast Wars, and to a much lesser extent Beast Machines, and then you had the Robots in Disguise, the Armada, Cybertron, the whole Unicron trilogy. But the Classics line tried to create a standard of sculpt and articulation in the figures. And without that revitalizing the interest in the original characters, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I think we're at a high point as far as the figures go. I'm really, really loving the Earthrise and the Siege lines right now. I'm really looking forward to the Studio Series 86 figures coming out next year.
Ooh. Too fancy.
It's all thanks to that.
Yay! Hell, that's the line that got me interested in it until everything fell to shit. My number 2! We brought him up earlier, but it's not the 25s. I'm talking original balls deep G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Where would we be without that inciting incident? Those great little weird, super articulated action figures, and the thing that works is that all the villains were cool, look like Star Wars villains, just like masks and fucking gnarly weapons, hooks and whatnot, and then the other ones. And then you had your good guys, and your good guys were like super diverse, just because every guy had a special function and just did whatever his background did, and you knew that because the back of the card said so. A full dossier, a full complement of weapons so that soldier could go wherever they needed to go, with whatever skills they had.
I miss bio cards.
Yeah. Hell, I just miss the lineup on the back of the card so I know what I'm buying, what else is on the peg. But that's me.
Yes.
I mean, bio cards died out with the Marvel Universe thing, but whatever. No, Vitruvian Hacks still make bio cards. And my dog at Dime Novel Legends, those also have something of a bio card, so. But those are both, like, clearly collectors-only loving nods to the big dog, the G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
I think Valorverse is going to be doing bio cards on the back of his boxes as well, unless they're pack-ins, which is better.
Yay, pack-ins. Evil story about that. But, you know, how else do I play the grisly, like, cost of war as a kid if I don't have that? If I'm not doing some sort of, like, mea culpa for Vietnam in some subconscious way with my little troop of guys versus my little troop of bad guys. Like, it's all, you know, very fun, very cool. My G.I. Joes didn't shoot in the sky in an arc. They died. They shot bullets and got shot with bullets and other crazy fucking Cobra Tech Mars-ass artillery. Like, it was an unfair war, but they could still get to it and do it. And the helicopter with Wild Bill, is it the Firefly? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. Love it. Lots of evacs, lots of bloody murder. Dragonfly. Lots of bloody murder, lots of good times. And I mean, you could always just pick them up and go again. And, you know, it ruled! And they're the right scale so that you could have these, like, ridiculously big battles and a reasonable scale because they're little guys. And they fit, you know. How many times was my Ghostbusters house like a shell-shocked fucking abandoned place for them to try and survive the Cobra Horde? Many, many times. Good stuff all around. Your number 1.
Number 1. The number 1 toy line I am most thankful for. Spider-Man Classics 2001.
That's not the movie.
That was Toy Biz. No, that was well before the movie. This was Toy Biz branching out from their Marvel toy lines at the time, which were 5 to 9 or 5 to 7 points of articulation. Maybe they had elbows sometimes.
19 years ago.
Real stiff articulation, but still beloved toy line. Fantastic. And 2001, they introduced the Spider-Man Classics, which would scale up their figures to a 6-inch scale, and they started playing around with the articulation as well. Because Spider-Man is supposed to be an extremely flexible character. So they started trying out things like the double-jointed elbows, the ab crunches, and the articulated hands.
I see.
And the Spider-Man Classics would move on, eventually, to Toy Biz's Marvel Legend line. And then from there, we now have Hasbro's Marvel Legend line.
Wasn't great at first, but that's me.
Well, it was the first couple of waves were rough. Those were some angry purchases I made. I bought the entirety of each wave. I had all the Build-A-Figures, But it was the entire time it was holding up that White Queen, Emma Frost, and looking at her weird squash face and going, "I hate you," and then going to the register.
You got your X3 exclusive figures.
The X-Men figures, yes.
But I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! He tried.
All that wouldn't have been possible without the Spider-Man Classics line.
Yay!
There was good, there was bad, but it was mostly good that spawned from it. Spider-Man Classics is my number one.
Be sure to look at your Toy Fair for details on most of these lines. It's no longer in production, but
the nostalgia.
Yeah, it's good. It influences the future. We still collect something in some form or fashion of most of these lines. Mm-hmm. So, I don't collect Micro Machine Star Wars because they stopped making them, and the ones that they did make for the new trilogy are too small. So, there you go.
What do you mean too small?
They're scaled down. Just a bit.
They've made the Micro Machines even more micro.
Yes. The Finn and Rey that come with the Millennium Falcon, like, escape from...
Jakku, probably.
Is it Jakku on that one? I get the
first movie?
We've been to there've been so many, like, fun bullshit planets. That, Escape from Jakku. It's a little smaller. Everything's a little tinier, and I don't enjoy that, because it feels cheaper that way.
Huh.
That Falcon's whack. There's no, like, internal flyboy parts to that one. And that was a big letdown. So I have the original with the original trilogy in mind. No special edition horseshit. So it's a toy line of its moment. It's in my possession, and everything else, like my number one, I still collect in some form or fashion. And that's why I'm thankful for Jakks Pacific Bone Crunching Action WWF action figures. They, while sturdy and excellent, focused on making the entire roster. And not only the entire roster, but just variations, whatever you could get away with. Different color schemes, different shape sizes, because they're being cheap, whatever. They made everyone they could possibly make because they understood that a full and robust roster was one of the keys to collecting and enjoying professional wrestling at large. Because, one day a guy's a jabroni, the next day he is literally the star. He's the champion. Sometimes it be that way. And sometimes it isn't. Especially when Mattel makes them. But to have those big, like, durable action figures that could literally take a beating, and if they, got too fucked up or broken, it's okay! They've got 3 different versions of him somewhere. That's not true for everyone, but by and large, there were, always at least a few variations, intentional or otherwise, of the Jakks bone-crunching action figures. 2-packs. Just the variety of it. The grapple gear, and that evolved into Real Scan, and Titantron, which wasn't as good, or rubbery. And that evolved into Ruthless Aggression, which changed the face of wrestling action figures by doing the same thing with hard plastic, and then also that's what FTC uses to this day with their exclusive molds that are just Ruthless Aggression, which leads to the deluxe, the classic... the WWF, classic figures? The Legends? Jakks Legends? Yeah, I'm looking at one. And, without that business model, there is no business model. It perfected how action figures for wrestling are sold and produced. And then it gets, corporatized with Mattel. But AEW Jazzwares is going to follow that. And they're the same company, basically. Taking that Mattel model of quality and detail and adding their own, everybody gets at least one figure and one variant. And that's why it's super fun for me to watch to the future. Ooh. The AEW line as to how they're going to tackle the entire depth of the roster with those variants, with that quality, and with that just care for numbers and getting everyone out. Mattel will make the popular stars so many times your eyes will bleed, but they don't make everyone, at least not in a timely fashion. AEW is having some, stutter starts right now because it's a pandemic and shipping's a thing. But, given a fair shot, I am confident that the roster's only going to get more horrifying, and I'm looking at my arena that is full of too many of everyone. And that's a cool feeling, because I can pretty much go across eras, when without the bone-crunching action figures doing that, setting that standard, that kids will buy a referee, kids will buy the manager, kids will buy everything, they'll buy every part of it. People want the backstage, the trash can, the ladders, the weapons, the valets, the exploding motorcycles. They want that stuff. And so now we have it. And now we have very fine versions of it. Super fun. So it's always super fun. It's just a little more refined. And that's why we collect, in my opinion. So I'm super thankful to Jax. Thanks, Jax. I have some of your bendy ones right now in my hand. This is Bob Holly. I don't love him. He came free. Someone mailed this to me because I bought their Miller duffel bag to be fun. Miller Lite. But yeah, that's our top 5. We got anything else?
What are your top 5?
Yeah.
Listeners?
Let us know. Slide in those DMs. Do it over the long holiday. Maybe pop this in on the drive to somewhere you shouldn't be going and hear us out. Annoy your relatives with us, because we're talking toys, and you might hear some of our points and go, right on, man, I dig that. Interact with us. That's social media. It's what it's there for. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a review on the podcast page, at iTunes, at literally anywhere. Follow the Patreon, patreon.com/OSGS if you want. And interact with us. Maybe you'll get a Toy HQ sticker in the mail. I don't know. The world's crazy right now. And we're just talking toys and making it go real smooth. Because that's how we do things. We do them smooth. But on top of all of that, have a safe and super happy Thanksgiving. And beware the scalpers out there. Because if you dare go into the Black Friday mire, bear in mind, you should never give up and never surrender. That's Dave. I'm Billy. OSGS is outie. Playing the music.